Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tom Cat here, and welcome back to some more Need for Speed Heat gameplay. Now, this again was from Gamescom, and I want to give a massive thank you to the EA Game Changers for bringing me out there. Now, with all that out of the way, I want to talk about what we'll be doing in this particular video. Now, the demo let you free roam around a little bit, and I tried to take as much advantage of that as I could. Now, unfortunately, it won't let you free roam around for very long during the day, but I tried to give you guys as much as I could in this video with this GTR. Also, later on in the video during the night, I actually found a train bridge, or basically like a monorail track, it looked like, that you could get onto, because I saw a ramp in the corner of my eye, and then I saw the track itself, and I was like, no way. And then I was like, actually, yes, that makes sense. That will actually work. So what I did in the first race was I just kind of like drove outside the race area, and then they'll only let you do that for so long before they, you know, obviously end it and transport you into night, or transform you into night. But anyway, I kind of did a mild build on this GTR before I left the garage. And it's a really cool like setup. It's not anything crazy. I left a factory color on it. I just did some nice wheels, bigger exhaust tips, and a wing. You know, really basic stuff. But I really wanted to kind of get the customization done really quickly so I could get out in the world. And I wanted to focus on two things in this video. One is the daytime, and the other is obviously the monorail track. But right now, I'm focusing on the daytime, and I didn't realize that there were concrete barriers out here, so I was like, oops, they're gonna laugh at me for that one. But anyway, as far as driving around in the daytime goes, I mean, this should give you a little bit of a idea of what the world looks like during the day and what daytime free roam will look like. And obviously, there's a lot of, like, there's really not a lot of Payback like references here. I mean, the world looks very different from Payback. It looks like a very different style from Payback, in my opinion, and partially that's going to be very much so due to the setting. I mean, Payback was pretty much all set in the desert, whereas this is set in a very like lush green environment. Obviously, of course, you have your your downtown areas and your cities and your industrial areas and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's a much more lush green map than Payback was. Now, I really do like the reflections on the road, and fun fact, the reflections on the road are different from the reflections on the cars and things like that, which is a really cool detail that I picked up. But at the end of the day, I think that they've done a really good job with the reflections themselves. I mean, I'm just driving around slowly to kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what the reflections look like and what the world looks like during the day. And like, just as you drive around, you keep going, or at least like for me, I keep thinking to myself like, wow, this game's pretty. It's such a good looking game, and it's such a pretty game overall. And right as I drove out here into the dockyard, it kind of cut me off. So again, that's what the demo will do after a certain amount of time, and then it kind of transports you to nighttime. But even the like little transfer screen, like the little loading screen, is really pretty, and I love how they use it as an opportunity to show your car off. And I think, you know, that gives you another incentive to customize it, because like, would you rather look at a loading screen, or would you rather look at your like, you know, like pretty detail shots of your custom car? I know for a fact I'd rather look at pretty detail shots of my custom car. I mean, that's just me, but I think that there's a lot to be said for getting rid of loading screens and replacing them with something, you know, entertaining and fun and cool, and just like, you know, something that's actually fun to look at, because I would much rather look at my custom car than a loading screen. So again, drove off at the beginning of the race. I really wanted to see what all was out here, and the city is just gorgeous at night. I've expressed in previous videos that I personally am a lot more interested in the daytime than I am the nighttime. However, in most games anyway. However, in this game, the city is just so beautiful at night, and it really reminds me so much of Carbon that I can't really fault the nighttime at all. I mean, it just reminds me so much of Carbon, and it reminds me of the environment of Need for Speed Carbon. And honestly, I could drive around this city at night for hours. I could just cruise around the city at night. It's just like, it's so cool. It's so pretty at night, and the lighting really sets it off. I mean, especially with the reflections on the road. I mean, like, that's the other cool thing too, is that you can see the reflections of the buildings in the road. I mean, like, you know, in the wet road. It's just, oh my god, it's such a pretty game to look at, and the detail is honestly off the charts. Now, this is where I found that track, and I was like, I wonder, I said to myself, I said, I wonder if I can get up to some mischief regarding that track. And lo and behold, I found something that made me very excited. So heading off down here. Now, this is also where the timer started, because eventually, if you drive around outside of the race for too long, it'll start that countdown timer. But I was determined. I was very, 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 very determined. So I found that ramp over there, and I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe there's one on the other side. And sure enough, I found one, and all I really had to do was make sure I didn't get pinned by these two cops and head for the ramp in the other direction. Now, I can't remember if I got it on the first try or not this time. I think I did, but let's see. Let's see. Come on, and got it. So, as far as getting up here goes, I mean, it's very simple to do, but I almost actually fell off right there. But once I was up here, I was like, oh, this is cool. And it just gives you a new look at the city itself, because it's like, I'm on a elevated train track, like, through the city, and you can tell that it's like, this gives me such massive, like, Burnout Paradise vibes. But the crazy part about it is that, like, the city gives me Need for Speed Carbon vibes, but, like, the track itself gives me, like, a combination of, like, Burnout Paradise and Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 vibes. I don't know why. It just gives me both. I also love how the exhaust flames aren't, like, completely, like, scripted to happen the same way every time. You know, it's like sometimes they'll come out of one side, sometimes they'll come out of the other side, sometimes they'll come out of both sides. Sometimes it'll be a little flame, sometimes it'll be a big flame. I really, really love that fact, because there's so many games that just, you know, they'll offer, like, backfire flames now, but they all happen in the same way every single time. In this game, they happen in a different way all the time, and it just makes them so cool, like, just so dynamic, because you never know exactly how they're going to happen. You can never really predict exactly how they're going to happen. Now, this track isn't all that long. You'll see up here it does end pretty soon in that station up there. And if you were to hit it at high speed, it's sort of... It's almost like if you were to hit it at high speed, it's kind of one of those things where you just, like, go through it. But I made sure to do it slowly because I was like, I wanted to show you guys the detail in the city, for one. And I also wanted to show you guys the detail in even just the track. Because, like, the track is, like... It's not an area that they had to make a big deal out of, but they did, you know? Like, they did proper work on this area, and I was like, that's so cool. I mean, you can even see inside, like, inside the building looks good. It all looks good, and graphically, this game is very impressive, and it really does a great job, especially the nighttime in the city does a great job of capturing that attitude of Need for Speed that I think we've been trying to recapture for a long time. Now, as you can see, obviously, when I dropped back down off the tracks, the police chase was on immediately. Like, we were straight back into it. If you look on the map, they are like, it's like I woke up an angry nest of hornets. They are literally everywhere, and they will stop at nothing to get you. So, you kind of have to consider that when you're playing this game at night, because they do get properly angry. I mean, they get genuinely angry at you, and they will chase you down at whatever cost. At whatever cost, they will chase you right down. I mean, like, that is just it. Now, I tried to kind of, you know, chill out over here and hide a little bit, and it sort of worked. Kind of worked, but it also gave me a chance to kind of show you guys a little bit more of the world. And the cool thing about this world is that it's not, like, hidden behind an illusion of speed. Like, some games, you have to be going fast for it to look good, but as soon as you slow down and you start to look at it up close, you're like, ugh, that's not great. But in this game, you can actually slow down and be super chill, or just park and drive really slow, and the world still looks amazing. And that's such a great achievement on their part, that, like, they can make this world look amazing, both at, you know, 200 miles an hour or at 5 miles an hour. And the fact that they've made the world look that good in both scenarios really speaks volumes about not only how much time they've spent on the visual aspect, but how much time they've spent really trying to capture that true attitude of what Need for Speed is, in my opinion. Because, again, games like Most Wanted, games like Carbon, really kind of embody that true attitude of Need for Speed. They even have some of the Need for Speed Underground attitude in here. And I understeered straight into a wall because I tried to do the little, like, throttle lift and reapply, like basically, like, you know, rear end kick out to try to slide the car, and it really didn't want to do it because every car has different characteristics. So some cars will do it that way, other cars won't, and you just have to kind of figure out the happy medium for each car, and I was still learning the handling model at this point. But even, like, look at that. The view of the city is just incredible, man. Absolutely incredible view of the city. Cannot get over it. Just absolutely cannot get over how good this game looks. and how good this world looks and how much fun you can have by literally just roaming around. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more. And I will see you all next time. Talk to you guys later.